you're listening to Life is Scary podcast. I'm Atiana. LIS is made of Goddess,
Hey.
Flame,
It's me.
and Giblet, who's not here with us today. But we were able to have some other folks join us. So we have Ryan, Catalyst,
Hi there.
and Wheezy006.
How you doing?
So today we're going to be talking about our experiences with using and experiencing, rather, virtual friends versus people we meet in person or IRL friends. All right. We have a bit of an itinerary we want to go through. We want to talk about the accessibility of making each type of friend, the pros and cons of each, which is sort of wrapped up in that together, and want to cap it all off with maintaining each type of friend. All right. Let's start off at the top with accessibility of making each type of friend. All right. In my experience, the primary ways that I interact with IRL friends are, as a young person, I guess I would say, through school and work. That's like the only times I interact with people that I intend to have longer than 2-second conversations with. All right. The friends themselves can vary in quality, especially the work friends, since you need to, go to work to survive and make that money. You got to, exist among them and maintain a happy work environment, even if you don't necessarily agree with everything your coworker is saying. Whereas school, it's a little bit more, at least in higher education, like you want to be in the class for the most part. You're choosing that topic, and the people among you have a similar goal in mind. You want to get them grades up, and communicate and network with people to get the ideal goal in mind. Everyone get smart, book smart, get them good grades and whatnot. So with that in mind, since there's like a bit of a pressure on both of those things, that's, I feel like, a little bit contrastable with the virtual friend, which is like when you show up, in my experience, again, I'm usually gaming when I meet people online. Both of the people showing up for like a fun time, a good time. There's no like pressure to need to stay in that situation, right? If I don't want to hang out with people online, I would just stop hanging out with them. I don't see them again, and they don't really know much about me outside of my name, usually, that like gaming online name. So there's no like potential, there's no increased level of loss there. Whereas a work friend, you have a shitty work friend, you're going to be there. It doesn't matter. You got to get that money. Oh man. What has your guys' experiences been with the virtual versus on in-person friends?
I'm the exact opposite, to be honest. I think that, like, say I find it easier to not get along with IRL people than I do with virtual people, because say I've made a friend online on Discord, they have like a 24/7 way of contacting me, whereas with an IRL friend, I'll only see them like once every few days. As that goes on, say like if I don't want to hang around with them as much, I can just sort of distance myself. I find it easier to distance myself more and more from that kind of person, whereas online, like, if I've not talked to someone for like 24 hours or something, they'll just message me like, hey, where have you been? And so I kind of feel obliged to constantly keep up contact with them versus someone that I'm like working with or I'm at school with.
I hadn't considered that. It's definitely a remarkable point.
Plus, I always feel like with work friends, like you're friendly at work, but I can never really gauge if you're actually friends. Like if I really if it's just like through necessity, or if like they really genuinely would like spending time with you outside of work, or like would like talking to you, and you just I've never been able to figure that out. Like how to approach work friends and make them friends.
To piggyback on that, for me, are we friends when I leave the job or they leave the job?
Exactly, yeah.
Because that's my biggest thing. Like I have people who I worked with that like worked with them for years. We were friends, but then I left the job. So then it's like, do we still hang out? Do we have anything in common now? Like,
do I still talk to you if I'm not being paid to do
it?
Yeah. like I'm no longer getting paid to do this. Yeah.
Oh man,
that's been my biggest problem.
Yeah.
For
also,
me,
go ahead, Miss Melissa.
You can go.
Go for it.
Oh, all right. Well, for me personally, the past jobs that I've had were retail jobs, and I never really had like a stable friendship with people who I worked with. it was just like, hey, what's up? How are you? Like, they would like want to go out for lunch and stuff like that. But like once I left the job, they never messaged me or anything like that. So I'm like, fuck it, I don't really care. But for internet friends, like through people who I met through Twitch, who I talk to every day, like, and they kind of know the real, no, not the real, I guess the real me, like how I am, like online. Like, I'm funny, I'm chill, whatever. And like I feel like I could be more open with those people because we have so much more in common, like especially with gaming. So yeah, I think that's just for me. I don't know, like I I never was friends with people who I worked with. I
Yeah,
don't
and
I don't know. I don't
I
know
was
how to
gonna
explain
say,
that.
as far as what Miss Melissa just said, you find more things in common as far as gaming wise. When you do meet people, as far as online, you have that common interest. Whereas, and you can actually be yourself as far as being online because you might not have that possibility as far as meeting up with that person. So with that, you don't have to worry about, okay, well, I have to be nice to this person because there may be a chance to where I'm being visiting HR. I might lose my job, to where it's messing with my money. So I feel it's more genuine as far as talking to folks and actually making friends online.
It sounds like
but
there's definitely.
Weezy,
Oh,
no,
Got it.
Weezy, you had a work wife.
Well, that's different. That's a
So
work
like,
Fair
aren't
wife,
enough.
y'all
okay?
like friends? Like,
That's
Well, yes.
context.
Right.
Okay.
But at the same time, it's a matter of, again, you can really just be yourself. If you're having a bad day and you talk to your folks online, you're fine with it. Whereas if you're at work, you have to go ahead and put that smile on, even if you are having a bad day. You can't really let it be known because otherwise, okay, they just have a bad attitude or whatever have you. And again, that's going to affect as far as your relationship, your work relationship,
Mhm.
and then also eventually affect your job.
Mm-hmm.
That's not fun
Okay.
at all. There's definitely like a
Thankfully,
balance of like having to be somewhere versus wanting to be somewhere. You choose every day. I choose every day to go online and interact with people.
Yep.
I
Same.
have to. I
Same.
enjoy being alive. That's why I go to work every day. If I didn't have to, do that to do, be alive and whatnot, I'd promptly stop immediately.
Promptly.
see, I was so relieved when I finally working like a non-customer facing job because then I could just be grumpy and shitty at work all I wanted. As long as my coworkers already knew me at that point.
Hmm.
But
Exactly.
putting that fake smile on like all day just made me not want to talk to anyone at the end of the day or just interact with people.
Oh man.
Definitely.
As far as what type of jobs we've all had in our experience so far, it sounds like most of us have at some point had a customer facing job. I presently do. I think
Yes.
Atiana does as well. Prague is talking about it. Anyone else have like different work environment experiences? Because I've worked primarily in a customer facing job. What have y'all been
Oh, I
experiencing
do.
in with non-customer facing jobs?
I worked at an amusement park. So that was really fun and it was all outdoors and people were really great.
That's not the word.
Great.
People
Great.
watching can't tell that she's not
Being
being great.
sarcastic.
At
Um
all.
no, it was really interesting because they did the training at this amusement park the same way they do the training at Chick-fil-A.
Hmm.
So it was one of those things where like whenever anyone said thank you to you, you always had to say my pleasure. So I don't know if
Ah,
anyone's been through a Chick-fil-A and every time you say thank you, they're supposed to say my pleasure.
My pleasure. Yeah.
oh
So
God.
it was like
I didn't notice that.
having to pretend that I was like, really, oh my gosh, I just want to help you so much, or not just be like, no big deal, like,
Mm-mm.
you're welcome, it's such like a weird, like
It's so
having to put that
weird.
face forward,
Oh, man.
it just being told to, or you'd get like reprimanded.
Oh goodness. I bet the virtual
Mhm,
friend is
mhm,
like a nice release valve in comparison with having to deal with like work friends and whatnot, and
Mm-hmm.
work people just in general. Like people, you want to have a good collection of people that you can just be relaxed around versus I need to get this money. All right, I will continue
Mm-hmm.
getting this money. I can do this, right? But I will stop if I didn't need to do this. Okay, right? Let it be clear.
I have an interesting question, which I think would be like good for context here.
Mm.
But like, how did we all meet each other? Like, I think most of us here have met online, um,
mhm.
but just to kind of reflect how we know each other, how we may have met, like how these friendships formed.
Yeah.
I actually know Giblet IRL. Like we're actual neighbors. We live like 10 minutes away from each other. I met her through a friend's like house party, and then I found out she gamed online and she streamed, and we kind of like became friends since then. Like 4 years ago, I think. Um, and then I met Wheezy through other streamers. I met Altiana, I think, through Wheezy too, and I met Flame through Giblet and Kata through Giblet, and I just met Ryan though. But
That's all right. That's all right. I feel like Giblet might be. Unfortunately, she's not with us presently
yeah,
in this particular pod, but she links a lot of us together, which is
yeah,
kind of amazing.
she does.
I definitely met Catalyst online through my brother. We're just playing some games forever ago. Is it 3 years now? 4 years now?
Oh my gosh,
potentially?
it's like 4 years at this point.
It's insane. It's insane. Which sounds like around the time that Prague and Giblet had met, which is amusing as well. I made Kata. Kata introduced me to Discord. I had not used Discord until then. I had installed it that day, and through Kata, I meet Giblet through there essentially. Which is there's a network, there's a spider web being woven here together.
Yeah, yep.
Oh man. How about you, Weezy?
So yes, I've met Miss Melissa through mutual streamer that we watch. So known her for quite some time now. Met Flame through Miss Giblet and also Miss Melissa. Met Miss Giblet, even though she's not here right now, through Miss Melissa. I met Atiana through another mutual friend, and we actually met at a TwitchCon, so we know each other IRL as well.
Nice.
I'm just now meeting Miss Catalyst, and I'm just now meeting B-Roll.
So how B-Roll? How do you weave into this equation? Because you absolutely are woven in here some way or another. And we need the deets presently. All right.
The tea. We need
Give us the deets.
Yeah. So I met Giblet through. We both have a mutual friend who did streaming, and through that, I was introduced to Giblet, who was doing streaming about 3 or 4 years ago, and we just she was streaming Sonic Adventure 2, I think, and we were just having a laugh, like me and someone else in the chat were watching, and it just devolved into chaos. It was great, and yeah, here I am 3-4 years later meeting all of you for the first time. So yeah, this is great.
Super amusing. Oh man.
No, I remember because I remember meeting your brother Flame and then you, because at that time I was like looking for friends or just looking for people to play the game. It was Heroes of the Storm.
Right.
Like I wanted people to play with. So I would they have in-game voice. So I would turn it on. And there's always a peril of having a female presenting voice and joining a game. And so whenever you meet anyone who's like kind of nice and not shitty to you, I'm always just like, hey, let's add each other, because clearly, like, especially in that kind of game, if it goes south, people get mean. And so I knew that, Flame's brother, as soon as it, was going crappy and wasn't automatically like, oh, shitty players, oh, you guys, I was like, okay, this guy seems like, it'd be fun to play with.
Right.
And then Flame and him, and like they had the same voice, and it was really confusing for a long time. But then
I deny this. All right, the ears, the cleaning between. I don't know. All right, he's definitely a better mind. For context, Heroes of the Storm is much like League of Legends, which very prone to gravitating towards toxicity somehow. I don't understand it, but it just happens consistently. So if you can't explain it, you just deal with it. I'm very glad that this sort of situation came up somehow, some way. Online, internet's a beautiful thing. So with that being said, then, what would you say are some, like, obviously we have several friends we trust and enjoy that we've met online, but if we could speak generally, obviously not everyone we've met online is sort of like a close friend that we would confide in and whatnot. What would you say are some pros and cons to like comparing the virtual and online, virtual versus IRL friends against each other? Like, to generally speak, no shout outs necessary, though if you feel like spilling tea, just spill it all over there. The table is yours.
Spill all the tea.
You have the bounty.
I can facts. I would say definitely like within this last year with the whole quarantine, I think I looked more so towards my virtual friends than my IRL friends, because they were like several states away, even though my virtual ones are, which is weird. But my IRL ones are not Twitch, like they don't know the Twitch life. And so it was just easy for me to be like, let me go on Twitch, let me get on Discord, and oh, let me talk to my virtual friends. So yeah, I think that was much. I found it was much more. It like strengthened the bond between me and my virtual friends, to say the least. Yeah.
For me, like same thing with quarantine. Like I haven't been able to see my IRL friends. I don't have like a lot of IRL friends, but it kind of sucks because like some of my friends are in bands. They would have shows, and I would go to those shows and see my other mutuals, and we will have a good time. But like towards the end of last year, most of my IRL friends came to Twitch and started streaming, and then I was able to see them more and talk to them more, interact with them a lot more, and for me that it's been fun.
Sweet, that's awesome. Shoot.
I would say that especially, hitting my late 20s, it became so hard to meet people in real life, at least for me, because I don't go
Same.
out. I don't go to bars. I don't go to places. Like finally at one point in my city they opened up a video game bar, so I was doing that for a while, but still that gets exhausting. So I think I've maybe made like one or two real life friends in the last like 10 years. Like all of my friends are people I've known since like grade school or longer. So it definitely online has been a place where it's been so much easier to at least just experience a lot of more people and potentially develop friendships with them. But like I'm never going to interact with this many people in my day-to-day life, really.
What do you mean? You don't know that there's a house party at your place next week? You know, Kappa didn't tell you?
Oops.
It's like 20 people coming into your humble abode.
I will be locked in the bathroom having a panic attack.
Oh
But but yeah, it's been, and especially another deal with like online friendships. I feel like I talk to people a lot more, like maybe not recently, but there's definitely more of like daily communication. Whereas like some of my friends, like I won't talk to them for months, and then suddenly it's like, hey, let's hang out, let's go get lunch, and it's like, okay, cool, it's fine. But there's just a different levels of communication and amounts and just numbers. It's a numbers game, and the internet you can experience much larger numbers of people than at least in real life for me.
What
I
do you mean?
agree
You
with
just
that.
gotta walk down the street and talk to precisely every single person you
Talk
meet.
to people
No.
in
If you
person.
yell, if you yell, you can
No.
talk to multiple people at the same
My
time. You
hair
can,
hurts. Bye.
boost your people per minute.
True story.
Stranger danger.
Stranger
danger.
Be the. I mean, never mind.
Do not be the stranger.
Doing that in New York, just going up to someone saying, "Hey, if you live in New York, you'd be like, are they gonna mug me? Are they trying to like ask me more for money?" Like,
Oh,
I
man.
get so freaked out.
Yeah, no.
Be the.
I don't do that. Like,
Stranger
I'm like,
you wish to save the world.
I can't.
Mm-mm.
Oh man.
Mm-mm.
For me, I am and always have been a homebody. So the majority of my close IRL friends actually game as well. So I pretty much have the best of both worlds to where once all this stuff is over with, as far as the whole quarantine thing, we can actually hang out and do some things, but that will likely involve video games one way or another. So so we're good. Not really much of a difference as far as managing on this end. Yeah, I'm getting the best of both worlds. I love it.
Awesome. Shoot.
Nothing changed with Wheezy. He was like,
Nope.
quarantine.
My quarantine's
I'm
good.
going
That means I
outside
don't
Like
have
anyway.
another
to,
day.
you don't understand. It is, you can ask a lot of people who know me, who try to actually get me out. It's a struggle. It's a struggle to get me outside.
It is.
I will say I will go, and then I'll try to find every excuse I can not to go. It's crazy.
Mhm.
I
I'm
felt
terrible.
that.
Yeah.
Same.
I mean, it's just one more very valid reason to not ever go outside. No, I'm good. There's
Yep.
stuff in the air. You can't even see it coming. It's crazy.
Exactly. Can't do it.
It's something like
It's
right
called
here.
pollen. Calm down.
My
When I
hair
leave my
hurts.
house,
I gotta
I
go.
have to like make sure I'm wearing like an outfit and like my
Outfit.
face looks, like
Oh.
this and not like how it normally looks and like, presentable. I'm at home,
Crazy.
like y'all don't see me half the time. I'm, maybe wearing pants, probably wearing pajamas, but no one has to know.
Same.
Oh,
No
man.
one
No
has
one.
to know.
We had the
Mm-mm.
hookup forever ago. When I was once work was starting back up again, we would be totally virtual. I work at a school. We would totally virtual. There's no in person arriving at all. And we'd have to have work meetings on occasion. And praise be to the Chems off work meetings. Just so casual. 11 o'clock. Ooh, I'm just getting ready to roll out of bed, get my coffee. It's perfect. It was the arrangement. It was the perfect setup. Now they had to
Love
go,
it.
provide service to students who need it. You got to be in person for that. So here it is. Times are changing. Very unfortunate.
Going back to work. It's gonna be the worst.
It's true.
It is.
How many of us are like back to in person interacting with human beings that aren't, significant others and whatnot? No?
Me.
You are? You are?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
How about you,
Yeah,
B-Roll?
for what I do for work, yeah, I have to.
My entire life is virtual, so I'm
Oh,
good.
Ah,
Well, probably because of maybe because of the time I've been brought up in. Like I'm, 20, I was brought up just as the internet started hitting its stride. All of my IRL friends are also my virtual friends as well. So it's a lot easier to just kind of swap from actually having a life to virtually having a life. So it's been great.
Oh man.
Yeah, that must
jealous.
Yeah.
I've definitely noticed that during this time, I've gotten so many of my friends who weren't on Discord onto Discord because it's like whenever you want to spend time together, I'm like, please just get on Discord. It's gonna be so much easier for everyone involved. Skype or like what? No, just get on Discord,
Zoom.
please.
Zoom links.
Zoom.
Bitch, what?
Zoom, no.
The Zoom.
Yes.
Does anyone remember OVO or UVU, whatever it was
That
called?
sounds like
Uvu,
a
yes.
noise. That
Uvu.
sounds like another noise I'm familiar with. That's not, but I think it is. I'm assuming.
Pretty much. It's like
Wait,
Skype.
is it?
It was like
Okay,
Skype.
like okay. I'm
It's
hearing
like back in the
Ubu.
day,
That's not it.
Not UVU. OVO or
Wait. Yeah, it was Uvu, I think.
I don't know.
Uvu.
It
Yeah.
was like
Yeah.
Skype, essentially.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mhm.
no, Flame was there when I have a bunch of friends who are in there like a little bit older than me, like mid-30s, and we tried to get them into Among Us, and most of them were using Discord for the first time, and it was
Oh
just
my
so
God.
like I'm like, "Oh no, we're becoming the boomers."
Grown toddlers, just like
Everyone's just like,
I'm
"How
muted.
where do I go to talk? What's happening?" Wait, I'm just like, just click on the channel, click on the channel, and then like just playing like Among Us. It's just like so many steps that just they could not figure out. It was adorable, but
Grown
That
toddlers.
reminds
It's a
me.
rare sight.
That reminds me of my best friend when she started gaming with me. She joined my server, and every time we would like leave like the voice chat, she'll leave the server. I'm like, you don't have to leave the whole server. You can just stay in.
Oh, good.
But
For
now she knows.
context, Discord,
He's
in
like,
case
I
we
don't
have
want you
any
to hear
older
me.
people, Discord requires you to be invited to a server. Like it's a very formal, very prestigious thing being invited to a server. So if you just leave, you have to be re-invited again. You can't just
Yep.
most links. I feel like you don't get to just click it again to be re-invited.
No.
It's a whole mess. Why would you do this?
Yeah, it was so funny. She did like 4 or 5 times.
Oh man.
Well, see, I'm not as lucky as you, Ryan, because my friends are older. So even my virtual friends, like next week, I have 2 virtual friends that are traveling cross country to come see me. So it's like we haven't grasped that concept, but we could just be friends virtually. We're like, no, we need to see each other face to face. I need to make sure
Not
you're really a human,
not a cat or just,
Exactly.
Cat in a person suit.
Gotta make
Yep.
sure you're not cat.
yeah, I am a cat in a person suit, so
Ooh.
Oh
To be
man.
fair,
See, cat.
I kind of have that problem in that because all of my IRL friends are virtual friends, when I just have virtual friends, they don't feel real because most of the people I talk to either online or in person, like I know them, like I've physically met them. So like one of my best friends, for instance, I've known him since like 2017. He lives in Germany. I've never met him, and even though we're really close, it still doesn't feel like we know each other at all. Every time we call, I still feel like I don't really know this person. So it goes both ways. I think.
Absolutely.
Like
For all we know, he could be like a really committed character actor, just like working on his next play, and he's gonna ditch you for some money in a minute. Watch out.
Oh yeah.
Lock it down when you can.
Do not give him your social security. Okay.
So, not the keys. Okay, maybe don't leave him in your apartment alone. All right. Although I recently went and met someone, I was definitely alone a couple times in that apartment, just chilling. So when you find the right people, just let them in your house and chill. It's gonna be good. You can do this. It's possible.
I would leave you alone in my house.
Really? Wait,
Yeah.
that just means that you aren't dealing with your dogs. I'm assuming you just want me to deal with the dogs.
Yeah, to pet sit mostly. Yeah.
Pet sitting. Oh, I bet it's unpaid pet sitting. A pet sitting internship. I'm not about it. I'm sorry. I can't.
I think going off of that, I think that's also what leads it to like a con of online friendships, because sometimes for some people they're a lot easier to just kind of like abandon and not think about those people, and just kind of, you could harbor some really close friendships and then they're all online. That person could just disappear and never talk to you ever again. And if you don't like know their real name or their phone number, there's no way for you to find them really. And I know personally, I have a friend who fostered some good friendships and then just kind of like cut them all out at once. And I was just kind of like, you have to like say goodbye to these people. You have to like let them know. And they were just like, no, I don't. I can just turn it off and it's gone. And I'm like, okay, well, there's still people on the other end of that friendship. It might be through some wires, but still treat people, the way you'd want to be treated.
Like people.
True.
Don't treat it like online dating.
Treat it like
online dating. Oh my god, that's another thing.
And I'm gonna swipe right.
I was swiping left for a bit, but now I've decided that's actually a swipe right situation. I was wrong. You were wrong.
I was completely wrong.
You were wrong.
I was before the swiping. I don't remember which way is which.
I'm assuming swipe right is wrong. I don't know. All right. Yeah. I didn't have much success. I definitely did a lot, and I did not get a lot of success on the online situation, in the online formalized dating situation. So, someone can definitely illuminate that situation.
I thought left was the good way.
Swipe left? Oh no.
None of us know apparently.
What is this?
No, I never went on Tinder.
I was only OkCupid, and they didn't have swiping back then, so
X. Yeah, you had to hit the heart of the X.
Yeah.
Super clear. What is left? What is right? Sounds political. Exactly. What on earth? No. I just want to date. Exactly. What the hell is this?
I was doing online dating on MySpace. Like,
oh my god,
that's how I met my boyfriend. That's how I met my boyfriend.
Nice.
So
online dating
that's like
on MySpace.
Boomer, shit. Like MySpace is so old. It's like 12 years ago.
I'm gonna sip on that one. I didn't know you were dating.
It's gotta be over 12 years at this point. Oof.
Oh man. I feel like if it was 12 years ago, wait, never mind. I did.
Yeah, that's when MySpace died. I think that's when MySpace died, like 12 years ago.
Maybe. It definitely died a while ago. And
yes, they brought it back.
It's still there.
No, they brought it back.
Okay. Just because you can type it into the search bar on the Googles, okay, doesn't mean it's there. All right?
Okay, Tyler.
Not real.
All right, fine.
Oh man, you can't find no booze on MySpace now. I'll tell you that. Or maybe you could, but maybe you're settling at that point.
You never know. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how the kids do it nowadays.
The kids do the gaming. All right.
I mean, you are the kids,
and everything.
Play the games and meet the people and interact with them in that way. All right. I don't know what the other kids are doing, but I've been growing up playing games, so I just naturally like, I should do what I love and then accidentally find people. This is like a good idea. That's what I thought.
So what is everyone's like, can you think of your first online experience just like meeting it sounds weird to say meeting a stranger, but like your first time interacting with other people on the internet that weren't people that you knew? Like, how did you do that? That's gonna date us. So, feel free not to say if you don't feel comfortable with that.
Oh, no. I'm putting on blast.
I was talked at on Call of Duty. I will not repeat what was said.
Oh my god.
It was not fun. And then it was fun eventually, hit or miss.
For me, it was like AOL Messenger, like those chat rooms.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did. I was a kid, like ASL.
Oh my god,
I
did
ASL.
dumb shit.
ASL. Right. And why on earth would you go in a chat room? Do you just talk about what someone just feels like prompting, or like is there a chat room with like topics or?
Yeah, there was like chat room topics.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
It was like random shit too. There's a
Ooh.
lot of stuff there.
Yeah, I think I remember being 12 and like going on one about horses or something. Like,
God, are you a horse girl? Oh man.
you know, I wanted to be.
Oh, get them them stocks up, okay? You just buy a horse, all right? It can happen to you too.
Horse.
Buy a horse.
In Georgia. Yeah.
Well, I mean, so Flame, you know nothing about like the party line. Then.
The part I don't know what that is. Is that a drug?
Oh my
What is that?
god.
Oh my
Are you talking
god!
about the
So
phone
like,
line?
Like put your hands on it.
Oh,
yes,
the
the
phone
real
line.
phone line.
I don't know what you're
The
talking
party
about.
Yep.
What is
Oh
that?
my
Okay.
god, you bring it
So
back.
you would call this number, and it was like a
Yes.
guy that would go on, and it had like a little automated thing, and then you would pick which group you want to go into, and it would just be people talking, and you were on the phone.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, like at a
Yes.
party? Just oh god, that sounds
Yeah, the
dreadful.
phone party line.
You ever just like
It's a fun party
get a
line.
Discord call and like some people are playing one game and other people are playing another game and it's just like chaos?
Yeah.
That sounds like that,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
worse.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yes,
goodness.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Or the
But you would like
dating
hear
phone
people
lines.
talking. Oh, it's amazing.
Oh,
It was amazing. And you go like whichever city you want to be in, you could click and talk to
In
people from that
city?
city. Yes. So they were like,
quote
here,
unquote.
you could talk to Vegas party line, and you called a certain number. Yeah.
Oh man. What on earth? That just sounds like a lot of role playing right there. Because you could just click anything. You can pretend you're anybody, I guess.
Yeah.
Pretend you're
Mhm.
German.
I mean,
I
that's
guess.
always been the internet, though, right?
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Be whoever you want to be.
Oh man.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No,
Well, let's
party
like roll it
lines.
back to like being real with people because that's fun being real with people and being genuine. What would you guys say are like most essential to maintaining, if there's any differences between maintaining a virtual friendship versus maintaining an IRL friendship? Do you guys feel like you need to meet someone in person to like establish this as a real relationship or as a real friendship, or do you feel like nah, we can stay like not spending them fucking the big money on the plane tickets and whatnot or driving? Like, do you guys feel like it can be a real friendship without that?
Yeah. I mean, if you want to meet, like that could be just on both parties. Like, hey, one day hang out. You come to my city, I go to your city. We can hang out for a couple of days, or you could just make it strictly virtual.
Okay, so it's possible according to Prague.
It all depends on like what you want to do.
Yeah, I think I think the struggle with maintaining online friendships sometimes is especially in terms of like gaming. There's like phases where people go through with games they want to play. So I could really enjoy playing a certain game with someone, but then they decide they don't want to play that anymore. I'm like, well, what do we do? How do we hang out?
Right.
You know, like we got
That's
to figure
true.
out something else. Like,
Kato, when was the last time you played Heroes of the Storm?
Oh.
well, it's been a while, but for a lot of reasons, you know. And I think there's also like to me at least, you know, having anxiety, like going somewhere to meet a specific person is a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
It's a lot of like,
Yep.
you know, you can't just have a casual hang. Like if they're there to see you, it's like planning that whole trip, figuring out what you're doing. Like I've made a lot of friends and people in like the UK over COVID. So like, and I not like, you know, in the course of my life, I just want to travel there anyway. So while I'm there, you know, like I'm like, well, let's meet up for lunch. And that seems like a lot easier than being like, I'm coming there to see you. It's just like, no, I'll be
Yeah.
there. We can finally meet. That'll be great. But you get to go home after lunch and I get to go and do my other stuff. So
Yep.
Sounds smart.
Definitely.
Like lessen the burden on the person
Yes.
who's like hosting, right?
Make it more
Otherwise,
comfortable.
yep. The
Yeah.
way you phrasing it, it really struck me as like, oh shoot, the person who's like hosting has to like perform to be like, I'm exactly the goodest friend as you thought I was on the line, you know? I'm just that person, you know, just in the flesh. It's great. That's like anxiety inducing potentially.
I was supposed to say, because New York would be different. Because there's lots of shit to do in New York.
True.
So if I come and visit
touristy
people in New
stuff.
York, I'm like, well, I can make a whole trip of it and like go to Broadway and all that crap. But like, yeah. Who wants to come
If
here?
you're going to
Like,
Nebraska.
yeah, it's like what would I do with you? I don't know.
You wanna plant trees together, guys, in Nebraska? I heard they got trees over there in Nebraska.
Go play in the cornfields. Fun
Go
times.
play in the cornfields.
DVD.
Oh my
no.
God.
Just shuck it. Just shucking some corn out here with your pals online.
Oh my god, it's like Stardew.
Like Stardew?
Yeah, no,
RP Stardew? Let's IRL.
We're not playing Stardew. We're not IRL Stardew.
Want to come to the South and just like sweat with me in the humidity? That's great. Come on.
Relax.
Is it?
Calm.
Is the winter in the South any good? Even like, or you just recommend everyone just like dip? What's the play there?
Would not recommend.
Oh no!
I mean,
no!
the winter's not as hot. That's all I got.
Not as
Yeah,
hot. So
just
like still
not
gets the
as hot.
70s and stuff.
No, we get like freezing weather, and you get ice, and then people can't drive,
nasty.
and
Never
then
mind. Okay.
trees are falling. You don't want to do it. You don't want to
No,
do
I'm
it.
good.
It sounds like a home.
But I will say that's one of the perks about conventions. You know, TwitchCon, I love it because I could go and actually meet everybody. So, and there's something to do. And if you want to get away from that person for whatever reason, there's other things to do without them.
Exactly.
They don't have to be in your hotel room at the end of the day.
They don't. No.
Exactly.
Yeah, what if you meet in person and
Oh,
you don't like them in person?
Oh no! Fake it till you
Oh,
make it. It's
no.
work face on that point. It's like, I'm here to
Yeah.
be pleasant, and I will never see you in the same way ever again.
But like, how do you like go back into Twitch then?
Go back into Twitch. Trick question. Don't. Just delete the account and start a new one. New lifetime.
Erase yourself from the internet. Start over.
They be like, wait, aren't you Atiana 80? No, I'm Atiana 85. Okay,
85.
I'm her distant cousin. Okay, I don't fucks with Atiana 83. I don't.
Yeah,
fucks
I know
with
that.
her crew and the clique she
Like,
came
who is
from.
she?
No.
Nah,
You don't know her.
I'm not from Yana Land. I'm from Yana Town. Difference.
Yeah, it's like I haven't
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
met any online people in real life.
Not yet.
Except
Yeah.
for guys through online dating. And that was always easy because you're just like, okay, that didn't work. Bye.
But no, I met Wheezy at TwitchCon, which was interesting.
Look, you planned to,
That's
or
an
was it like an
interesting
accident?
moment.
Interesting.
It was okay because
Was
it
he
was my
actually
second
split legs?
TwitchCon. He is very, very short. We're not gonna
Okay.
discuss. Gonna let him do his thing. We'll just let him be his little person self. But you know, there is a possibility, like a very, very small one, that I got drunk every night.
Oh, okay.
Hanging out with him and his mod, and it's like I just was like, you know what? I feel comfortable. I'm gonna go get drunk, and these people can be responsible for me. Yeah. But that's not actually accurate, right?
Yeah.
Right, Weezy? I didn't get drunk every night, did I?
You did. But I've met folks from gaming. Actually, one of my closest friends, who I consider like my little brother, I met him years of gaming, and finally went over to Jersey to meet up, hang out, and all that good stuff. So wasn't awkward at all. Welcomed me into his home, met his folks. And he's come down here a couple of times. We hung out. So it's been good. Met Atiana. Also met one of my mods on my channel as well. And I thought it was going to be awkward. Like, damn, how is this going to work? Just talking to these folks every day. What are we going to talk about? Because we're not gaming, you know? But no, it was smooth. No awkwardness at all. At least I didn't feel. Just went out, had a good time, and just chill.
That's super cool. The real ones feel real. It's a nice situation to come across. You find people you just talk at and with for extended periods of time, and it just rolls. It's good. Oh man.
Mostly all I can think about meeting online people in person is just like, wow, you're fatter than I thought you would be.
Oh, that's
Don't
nice.
get cut.
Wow.
They're gonna get cut.
I mean, insane, but yes. They would get cut. Yeah. Oh,
No, they wouldn't say that. They just think it,
Yeah, we think
They
it.
would.
Wait,
Wheezy.
What?
This is
Did
me
you
just
think
reflecting
that?
upon myself, not.
No. Yeah, man.
I'm
It's
playing-
really
I'm
like
playing.
people don't think like that. Obviously, you'd hope that your shitty people detector filter has like sussed out that sort of tendency from them long
Right.
before they get the privilege of breathing your air and whatnot.
Very true.
This hit and misses sometimes. Unfortunately, it's the internet.
Yeah.
People can perform and be a whole nother motherfucker. On that note, then, I think it'd be a very appropriate after talking about stuff that's so I don't know intensive and real, like who are your friends and how do you treat them and how do you manage them? I feel like we should send off with a positive affirmation of some sort to carry us home, like a positive idea to
Carry us home.
go home. Carrie, you're probably listening to
Take
this.
me home, BB. Take me home.
Just go, turn around your car, drive home instead. You don't want to go where you're going. You want to go home. Okay, just go home. Listen
But
to
I am
Those
home.
PJs.
For all home.
The listeners not home. Or I'm hypotheticalizing here. That's not a word, but I'm making it a word today. Okay.
Can you say that word again?
Hypotheticalizing? It's really a word because I could say it twice. That makes it a word.
Oh my god. Okay. So I did find a really nice affirmation by Ram Dass. I don't know if you guys know who that is, but I'm gonna say a nice little affirmation quote. We are all affecting the world every moment, whether we mean to or not. Our actions and state of mind matter because we are so deeply interconnected with one another.
That was a good
Aw.
one.
Interconnected, even electronically. Oh my word, that's
Interconnected internet.
Whoa!
Idiot. My God, let's go.
And the nerdiness has begun.
Ready? I didn't ask for this. I'm not at work. I'm not at school. I didn't ask for this energy. Oh, man. Well, with that, we appreciate you guys listening to the pod. We look forward to you guys listening to all the other pods and enjoying it each and every time you do.